Welcome back to the grid for race 2. I'm on the third row here, and a best ever race 1 result for Steve Kershaw and Rob Wilson. What a terrific ride for them. The flowing circuit here at Silverstone suited his riding style to a T. Another good ride, 5th place in race 1 from Banbridge County Down, John Clark and Stuart Graham. They really put in a fantastic result again, so they find themselves on the third row. So the boys from Ulster doing a terrific job. On row 2, the boy band is back in business. Ben Bygrave, Callum Lawson, 4th in the race. They came from a slower start actually in race 1, but up here they are on row 2. Terrific ride for them. 3rd place for Ben Holland and Lee Watson. Actually from the front row, they've lost a place. They find themselves on row 2. But Ben Holland's got terrific speed, quickest through the speed trap here, so he'll be going well. The race leader of race 1, for the majority of it, Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence set an absolutely blistering pace. They find themselves on the front row because in the closing 2 laps, new champion Tim Reeves and Greg Clues slipped through to take the lead, and they were never headed again. So our pole position man, 2011 champion Tim Reeves and Greg Clues. Ben Holland then, starting on the second row, the best thing he can do is maybe follow through. Well, let's see if Tim Reeves can get the thing off the line this time, because he certainly needs to. We've seen how quick Roger Lovelock's number 49 bike is, lining up alongside him. There's some guys there really showing their hand this week. A lot of unusually quick people we're not accustomed to seeing flying. Look at Steve Kershaw, number 29, he got a flyer too. Mark Edwards going underneath our camera at that point off the line. Brian Gray in there with Colin 2 holding down the third wheel, but it's Lovelock who's got the drop. Tim Reeves, then it's Ben Bygrave, then Ben Holland, then in 5th place Steve Kershaw on the blue outfit, then it's John Clark. Roger Lovelock, a terrific start again, but it wasn't a bad one from Reevesy. The new champion then in 2nd place, the number 77. Then we're looking for Ben Bygrave, number 74, in the middle of your picture. Then Ben Holland. John Clark, number 90, coming. Scott Laurie, 72. Desperate to make amends. Charging through on the inside. Can Steve Kershaw come back at him? Well, discretion, the better part of valor there, I think, from Steve Kershaw. A rider of the future, mark my words. Very smooth, very reliable, and a really nice guy. So he's there, now being relegated by Scott Laurie. Scott Laurie now chasing down the number 98, going on. Mark Edwards and Shelley Smith is fighting back. Oh, Liam Abbott knows he's in a race. The number 91 got knocked sideways. Craig Chaplin, Pat Farrance with him as well. Well, Mark Edwards came wide, came off the grass, just drove it hard. The back end went a bit loose. Oh, up goes the sidecar wheel. Come on, Greg, keep it down. That's what you're paid for. Greg Clues then, the passenger, the Frenchman, from down the Bordeaux region on the west coast of France. Well, you heard in the interview, his father has invested some money in that outfit. Keep Tim Reeves and Greg on track. There's that wheel in the air. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence needed no second bidding. They were through. So fighting back, Reeves, he couldn't quite make the turn. And still our race leader, the number 49, we're on board with it. Just watch the speed as the tarmac flashes by. These two now getting away. Ben Bygrave, Callum Lawson still there in 3rd, although the gap now something like 2.8 seconds. They're dropping off the back, and they've got Ben Holland and John Clark climbing all over them. Can Roger Lovelock bring this one home? Beaten in just the last 2 laps of race 1 by Tim Reeves, who now you could argue is riding for fun, but as Reevesy said, quote, I like to win, flippin' hell, I like to win, he said. And he's in 2nd place at the moment, the identically liveried outfit behind him of Ben Bygrave, Callum Lawson. Then Scott Laurie again having a good dig at the number 90 of John Clark, out of shot now. This is the battle for the lead. These two now stretching the advantage. The two young crews, Ben Holland, Lee Watson, Ben Bygrave, Callum Lawson, have been so close in the championship all through the season, and now they find themselves locked in a battle on track, just as these two are locked in a battle. On board again with the leading outfit. Are we going to see the Paget's Honda nose past at any point? I don't think it's got the speed in a straight line that Roger Lovelock's Suzuki seems to have. I can see Phil Bell in the background there, with Phil Hydes making a bit of an impression on the second chasing group. Tim Reeves trying everything he knows, he's up the inside. Oh, nowhere for Rick Lawrence to go. They're in the lead. Nowhere for Roger Lovelock's passenger to go. Greg Cruise's backside just being hoisted off the tarmac with the centrifugal force, the G-force. As they throw it in, the whole thing is trying to turn turtle. And we have seen the number 3 Santander outfit turn turtle on more than one occasion. The news, incidentally, of the number 3 driver, Barry James, is that he has sustained a broken collarbone. So, whilst an annoying injury, it's at the right end of the season and nothing more serious. Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence just chasing down. They haven't given up by any means. Greg Clues sniffing the tarmac almost. He gets so far over, virtually rubbing his crash helmet on the surface of the road. The gap now some 5 or 6 lengths. Reeves leads. Lovelock second. Bygrave third. Then I saw a flash of Scott Lorry's number 72 outfit, looking as though it's made its way up to 4th. Yes, it has indeed. Oh, Ben Holland then has been... Oh, no, not again. Hand in the air from James Neave. Scott Lorry, another retirement. This is a double no score for him at Silverstone, turning what started off as a bad weekend into an absolute catastrophe. Disqualified in qualifying, 2 lion-like performances, 1 from the back of the grid, but to no avail. John Clark then, chasing Ben Holland. Well, what more can Scott Lorry do? What more does he have to do? A mechanical retirement. The only good news is that both rider and passenger are obviously fit and well. Ben Bygrave is past Reeves. Reeves is slowing. Tim Reeves is slowing. He's got a problem. The number 77 chasing the new champion, chasing the leaders in this race. Greg Clues absolutely frantic. I don't know what it is. It's a mechanical problem. Hand in the air, they are out of the running. Nothing. The body language just telling the story. Reeves and Clues then, the championship sewn up, but the crown just a little bit tarnished here at Silverstone because they won't add to their handsome points tally. Meanwhile, while the cat's away, Roger Lovelock is going to play, and is he playing at the front? This is then an unthreatened first top step of the podium for Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, former British champions, it has to be said. And the year he won that championship, he competed with a broken collarbone. On the same weekend he broke it, so 2 hours later he was back in the outfit. That was at Knock Hill, but that was a while ago. We are talking here and now, 2011. Rod Robinson and Roy Farmer retiring the cross-plane Yamaha, the number 10 outfit. Such a shame. Liam Abbott, number 91. Chris Judge into the pits. So retirement's now coming thick and fast. Could be tyres. A lot of tyre-related problems here this weekend due to the very high corner speed. And in fact, the high start line finish speed, 150 miles an hour. Ben Holland, Lee Watson, now with Ben Bygrave and Callum Lawson. So the 2 young crews that promise so much for the future. Let's face it, this is the future of sidecar F1 racing. We're with it now. These 2 boys, these 4 boys, shall I say. Hate me for calling them boys, but compared to me, believe me, they are young men. Let's call them young men at the top of their game and delivering it on the big stage here at Silverstone. Meanwhile, John Clark, Stuart Graham, right there, they have far from given up. This is the battle for second. In third place, number 74, Ben Bygrave. There's the race leader. Look at the advantage Roger Lovelock has now. The foot of Lee Watson dragging the tarmac there. Special boots being made by 151s. Rob Cameron making special boots with inserts that don't rub away, and I have to say they need them. It really is a unique discipline, the sidecar passenger's role. Putting literally your life in the hands of someone else and throwing yourself around completely unattached. Oh, you saw there the sidecar wheel. I was talking about passenger compromise. Callum Lawson had a left-hander to deal with, and he knew there was a right-hander immediately afterwards. Might have shifted his weight just a touch too soon, but they made it. John Clark and Stuart Graham on the inside. This Northern Irish pair, the Ulster crew here, have just got better and better and better as the season goes on, and they have that long boat trip. Oh, they're through on the inside, never mind boat trips. They have that long boat trip every weekend, every race weekend anyway, but we're going to Ireland for the final round so they can have a relatively short drive to race. Up into third place then, Clark and Graham. Head down, Stuart Graham tucking down in. He was one of the passengers who said to me, this is unbelievably hard. Ian Guy and Carol McBride retiring their outfit, so another one parked on the grass. Still this battle raging for the final place on the podium. John Clark now coming under a renewed attack from Ben Bygrave. Bygrave senses that maybe the Ulsterman burned it all on that passing move. He had 3 frantic laps to side his way up to third place. Maybe, Ben Bygrave thinks, maybe he shot his bolt. We shall see. Oh, using all the track and more. John Clark running wide onto the marbles, onto the dirty bit of the circuit. And that would have given Ben Bygrave a bit of an opportunity to close. Has he? Yes, he has. He's right on the back of him again. Second place then, Ben Holland, Lee Watson, we're with them. Can you see Roger Lovelock ahead? No, he is so far down the track, just a distant dot ahead of us. But behind this pair, the battle royal is raging between Bygrave and Clark. On the inside, Ben Bygrave, Callum Lawson, up to third they go. Are they taking it? Not giving an inch. John Clark is staying put, but he's being pushed back to fourth. We have a new third place on the podium. Prospective candidate, shall I say? Well, he is a candidate. He is a candidate. Through they go again. Callum Lawson. That is a bend that catches all the passengers out. They have to change direction so quickly. And in the latter stages of this race, boy, will they be exhausted. John Clark's outfit is quick. Is there a way back for the Ulsterman? We shall see. Ben Bygrave has stretched the gap. The John Lawson sponsored machine. Oh, right, a cheeky move, a cheeky move. He's made it stick though. He went in really tight, did a block pass. So John Clark, Stuart Graham back up to third. This is raging now for the final podium place. Riding with a second place outfit. Ben Holland, Lee Watson, up through the gearbox. Listen to that engine. Absolutely flat out. Oh, Bygrave coming past again. No, showing his nose to John Clark. Terrific, fantastic racing. This is F1 sidecar racing at its very, very best. On the big stage here, a lot of the crowd here. This is an early morning race. Race 2. We'll have this done and dusted before lunch. The last lap flag is out. 3.7 miles to do. It's a long way when you want that podium. This is where the fireworks are. Third place we're looking at now, John Clark, Stuart Graham. Fourth place, Ben Bygrave, Callum Lawson. Are they going to usurp Ben Holland for second, maybe? The race leader, Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, coasting home to what will be a memorable podium for those two guys. Two of the nicest men in the paddock. Work really hard at it. Look at John Clark. Is it going to be a cheeky move for second here? The outfit's fast, he's having a go. He's on the inside. No, the camera angle foreshortening the closing distance there. It looked to me as though Clarkey was lining him up himself up, shall I say, for the second place on the podium. Meanwhile, he's in third. A cautionary glance. Callum Lawson, again that wheel in the air, just made it. Ben Bygrave driving around there with the wheel 6 inches in the air. And in fairness to Callum, he's only light. He's a fairly slight fellow. And if he moves his weight just a fraction early, then he's giving away several stone. A fraction, oh, they slid! They slid, oh, they're upside down! Oh no, the back wheel let go. Callum Lawson firmly anchored to the back, but the back wheel let go. It could have been his lightweight, it could have been degradation of tyre. He's right on the back, he's doing his job perfectly, and he stays with it. He stays with it, but when that happens, there is nowhere for the passenger to go. Ben Bygrave underneath. What drama on the last lap. That's, I won't say it's handed the final podium place to John Clark because he was in it already, but it certainly consolidated it. Top step, meanwhile, going to Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence. They've hardly put a foot wrong in this one. It's a flawless performance. 25 points. And we are going to have a very interesting championship table at the end of this race in the final analysis. The checkered flag is out. Second place, Ben Holland, Lee Watson, John Clark, Stuart Graham. Ben Bygrave and Callum Lawson ended up upside down. I'll give you the news on them just as quickly as I can because it was a big crash. And as I said earlier, there is nowhere for the driver to go. He has to stay with it. Oh, there, the Rick Lawrence customary handstand. We've never seen the headstand before. Confirmation of that. Lovelock and Lawrence, you've seen the top 3, we've been following them. Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, a good 5th for Phil Bell. What about that? Steve Kershaw, Rob Wilson, 6th. 7th for Gary Smith and Justin Sharp. Lots of retirements again. The big one on the last lap, Bygrave and Lawson. Callum Lawson's cracked an ankle bone, he's plastered up. And what a weekend for Scott Laurie and James Neave. John Clark, Stuart Graham, this is just a fantastic result.
Yeah, fantastic. We couldn't believe it. I thought Tim had went off into the distance and I could see Roger, I could see Ben. I was having a fantastic scrap with Ben Bygraves and we came over the line. I thought, oh well, 4th, not too bad, and then we got directed into the Parc Fermé. I couldn't believe it. I says, well, this'll do. So one of them things. Thanks. Yeah.
Stuart, you've become superstars of the paddock. You've been walking down here and everybody's shaking your hands. Great feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just awesome, really. It's just been a tough weekend. Well, for me personally, I think a lot of people might have struggled, but it's been a fantastic end to what was a tough weekend because it's a physical circuit, but it was just fantastic.
I would like to thank Bill Waugh Construction, who bought the tyres for this weekend. We can't thank him enough because it's so expensive, and without people like him, Coulter Hines, Around the Pound, McKinstry Skip Hire, all our sponsors, we couldn't do it without them, and thank you to everybody.
Ben Holland, now we're in the tranquility of the paddock and all the rush and tear has gone, we've calmed down. You must be reflecting on a fantastic runner-up spot.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a little bit sort of speechless about it. I was hoping to come here and have a good weekend and get on the podium twice. It's yeah, all of us are pretty chuffed. It's nice to be able to repay the team with all the hard work they've put in. And yeah, I mean, as for the race, it certainly made it a little bit difficult for ourselves. We dropped a few places within the first couple of laps, and yeah, we just had to try and plug away and get back up to a decent spot. And yeah, we were a little bit fortunate with Tim pulling out, and Scott Laurie pulled out as well. So just had Darky to deal with, and also Ben Bygrave. But no, it was some good racing. It was thoroughly enjoyable.
Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence, an absolutely fantastic win. And you earned it from the very first lap.
Yeah, I suppose we did really. I mean, we were off the line like a scolded cat, and I thought, yeah, here we go again, deja vu, same as yesterday. And we knew that Tim was going to be a threat, and Ben Bygrave, so we were all ready for, you know, a good old tussle. And yeah, Tim came through. We got past him again. He came past us. Greg's arm went in the air, and we thought, oh, he's got a problem here. But yeah, we kept going, plodding on as usual, like we always do. Kept the lead and took it to the checkered flag. Wonderful.
Well, you had a 6-second gap. If you'd known what was going on behind you, you wouldn't have been able to concentrate. All hell was breaking out behind.
No, I looked behind him with a few laps to go and saw we had a bit of a lead and was sort of letting Roger know we had a bit of a lead because we have no lap board, no nothing. So it's down to him and me to find out where we are. Let him know that we had a bit of a lead just to back it off, and kept coming around thinking, God, it's got to be the last lap flag, but it wasn't out again and again and again. But yeah, it was good. It was enjoyable. Would you like to say a quick thank you to somebody who dropped us some money yesterday? Don't know who they are, just mysteriously dropped us some money yesterday, which was fantastic. Put to good use for tyre today, so that paid dividends.
You two have been the entertainment package this year. You've been really, really consistent and really good. So congratulations to both of you.
Yeah, cheers, Barry. Once again, brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers.
I've been looking forward to this, and there they are, second place on 2-1-2. The championship already tied up, double points ahead of us at Mondello. Scott Laurie very much in touch. He's going to come back with a bang in Mondello, I can tell you. The Birchells will be there as well, so they'll want to be improving on their 191. Steve Kershaw did himself a power of good. He's 12th, 77 points. What a terrific season it's been so far. We've still got that one more round ahead of us. 3 races on the programme from Mondello. Look forward to it. Maybe the Sloanes will get their bike out of the garage. Let's hope so. Well, that's it from Silverstone. What a fantastic second race. In fact, 2 great races. The final round of our championship comes from Mondello in just 1 week's time. Double points up for grabs, 3 races on the programme. Don't miss that, whatever else you do. But from Silverstone, thanks for watching and bye-bye.